Throughout history, there have been evil masterminds, sinister warlords, and criminal geniuses. And then there were these guys. People who somehow, against all odds, managed to do something so ridiculous that they might as well be supervillains by accident. 1. The guy who blocked the sun.
Excellent.
Imagine being so good at science that you accidentally commit an act straight out of a dystopian sci-fi movie. Enter Russell Seitz, a scientist who once proposed injecting tiny reflective particles into the atmosphere to cool the Earth. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, some governments actually considered it, until someone did the math and realized that, if done wrong, it could trigger a mini ice age. Whoops, a bold plan. Just one minor miscalculation and boom, we wake up to Scrat trying to take away our nuts thinking it's his. 2. The rich man who tried to own air. Capitalism, the gift that keeps on taking. Back in the early 2000s, a businessman who shall remain unnamed to avoid his lawyers appearing in my DMs, tried to patent oxygen. No joke. The idea was to create an exclusive purified air product and charge people for breathing it. Sounds like something straight out of a dystopian novel, right? It's comforting to know that somewhere out there, a billionaire is still trying to figure out how to slap a monthly subscription fee on the act of being alive and make my wallet emptier than it already is. 3. The farmer who killed an entire species. Once upon a time, a farmer in Australia got tired of dealing with bugs, so he introduced cane toads thinking they'd eat the pests. Instead, the toads multiplied like an army on steroids and proceeded to destroy local wildlife, eat anything they could fit in their mouths, and spread like a biological horror movie. Congrats, you've just invented an ecosystem-ending disaster. Nothing like solving one tiny problem by creating a biblical plague that makes Mother Nature file for early retirement. 4. The man who created a useless war. Some people start wars over land, some over resources, and some over a stolen pig. Back in 1859, an American settler in the Pacific Northwest shot a British pig that wandered onto his land. The British were furious, the Americans doubled down, and suddenly there were troops pointing guns at each other over bacon. This nonsense known as the Pig War could have turned into an actual war over one pig. Imagine explaining to your grandkids that you fought for your country because some guy couldn't handle a trespassing ham. 5. The man who accidentally poisoned a nation. Once upon a time, a Prohibition-era chemist had one job: make industrial alcohol undrinkable so people wouldn't turn it into moonshine. Instead, the formula was so toxic that thousands of people died from accidental poisoning. The US government knew, but kept adding even deadlier chemicals, hoping people would learn their lesson. Spoiler alert, they didn't. The classic "stop drinking or we'll literally kill you" approach. Shockingly, not too much of a hit with the public. 6. The woman who destroyed an empire. With rabbits. A well-meaning British settler in Australia thought, "Hey, let's bring a few rabbits for hunting." Big mistake. The rabbits reproduced like, well, rabbits, and within decades, there were hundreds of millions of them, eating crops, ruining land, and forcing Australia to build a 2,000-mile-long rabbit-proof fence. Did it work? No, the rabbits won. Australia really took one look at the entire history of invasive species and said, nah, let's speedrun this disaster. At this point, the rabbits should be paying taxes, or at least writing, "We own this place now," on the Australian flag. So there you have it. 6 people who, through sheer dumb luck or questionable decisions, could have easily been villains in an alternate timeline. The lesson here? If you're gonna be an accidental supervillain, at least go big enough to get your own theme music.